Module 3, Lucrative Deals on Fast-Track Sales, Training the Doctor Frame. Introduction. Why the Doctor Frame matters. The Doctor Frame is a powerful concept in sales because it removes all selfish motivations, allowing you to focus solely on the well-being and success of the person you're speaking to. Imagine that you're a doctor, someone who has an ethical duty to advise and guide patients based on what's best for them, regardless of personal gain. As a salesperson using the Doctor Frame, you approach each conversation from the perspective that you have a prescription that can solve your client's problem. You know what they need, and it's your job to help them understand the gravity of their situation and why they need to take action. Why is this belief important? Because it shifts your mindset. If you're not grounded in the conviction that you're helping others rather than simply closing a deal, it's easy to feel defensive or desperate in response to objections. When you approach each call as a doctor, you're not there to sell antibiotics. You're there to help a patient understand the risk of inaction and the benefit of taking the next step. This approach eliminates pressure and aligns your motivation with a genuine desire to serve. Visualizing the Doctor Frame in action. To understand the Doctor Frame, consider a scenario where a person walks into a doctor's office with a sore throat. The doctor quickly diagnoses a serious infection, one that requires antibiotics. Now imagine if the person is hesitant about taking antibiotics. The doctor knows that without treatment, the infection will likely worsen, potentially leading to complications like bronchitis, pneumonia, or hospitalization. If the doctor sees the situation escalating, they don't just think about the immediate interaction. They look forward, seeing the consequences of inaction. The doctor isn't thinking, how can I sell this person antibiotics? They're thinking, if I don't persuade this person to take the antibiotics, they may end up in the hospital with an IV saving their life. That's the Doctor Frame. This frame also means the doctor is not thinking about any monetary gain or the number of antibiotics they sell. Their focus is on the patient's outcome, their well-being, and their future health. When you're talking to a potential client, adopt this mindset. Your product or service is the antibiotic that they need to solve their problem, and you are responsible for helping them understand that. Fighting for your client's future. When you approach calls with this mindset, you'll fight for your client's success, not because you want to close a deal, but because you know the transformation our service offers. You're willing to push through objections, not because of financial gain, but because of the potential future you see for them. This is the power of belief number 5. I will enroll this person if and only if I know I can help them, if they show up committed, and if they uplift other people in the program. This belief is critical because it places you in the decision-making position. You're deciding whether you want to work with them based on their commitment and their readiness to make a difference. If they're willing to show up fully and do the work, you're ready to go the distance with them. Otherwise, you're confident enough to decline, understanding that the client's commitment is just as important as your dedication to helping them. Controlling the frame. In every human interaction, the person who does the choosing controls the frame. If you're the one deciding whether to work with the client, you control the frame. Conversely, if they're the one evaluating you, they control the frame. The Doctor Frame is essential here because it enables you to maintain control without appearing manipulative or sales-oriented. On each call, you must continually assess whether this person is going to be an asset to your program. Ask yourself, will this person lift others in the program? Or will they show up with a victim mentality, looking to blame others when things get tough? These considerations help you maintain a high standard for your program and preserve a positive environment for all participants. When people fail, they rarely fail alone. They may start spreading negativity, recruiting others to believe the same unproductive stories about the program. Therefore, maintaining high standards protects both your existing clients and your reputation. In this way, you're not only helping individuals, but also creating a supportive, productive community. Belief 6, the power of resourcefulness. Belief 6, anyone who is willing to get resourceful can find a way to afford this program, is vital for handling objections. When you truly believe that everyone has the potential to be resourceful, you'll see that financial objections are often more about mindset than actual limitations. Many people are accustomed to thinking they can't afford certain things, but when presented with a genuine opportunity that aligns with their needs, they'll often find a way. Imagine if someone offered you a brand new luxury car worth hundreds of thousands of dollars for a fraction of its price. If you were given the chance to buy it for $6,000, chances are you would find a way to make it happen. You would get resourceful, tapping into networks, asking for loans, or selling assets to secure that deal. This same mentality can apply to your program if the potential client recognizes its true value. You must hold the belief that people can find a way if they truly want the transformation your program offers. It may not happen right away. They might have to get creative or tap into resources they hadn't considered before. But if you don't hold this belief firmly, you'll allow financial objections to derail your calls and undermine your conviction in the program's value. Reframing objections, making it about the outcome. When you're handling objections, it's essential to reframe them around the outcome rather than the program's cost. For example, if someone says, "That's a lot of money," hear it as, "That's a lot of money to save my marriage," or "That's a lot of money to overcome my diabetes." The program's cost is not significant when measured against the outcome it promises. This shift in perception makes the objection sound trivial in comparison to the life-altering results your program offers. The decision clients are making isn't whether to join the program, it's whether they want the outcome. It's up to you to make them see that. If they're focused on the program itself, you're likely to lose control of the frame. However, if you can direct their focus back to the outcome, the conversation becomes about their goals and dreams rather than financial or logistical barriers. The truth as your only weapon. The 7 beliefs are not just motivational, they are the truth. These beliefs aren't something you talk yourself into to boost your confidence. They're grounded in reality. If clients don't commit to solving their problem today, they may never fix it. This is why truth is your most powerful tool. Truth is unwavering. It doesn't require embellishment or pressure. When you operate from a place of truth, you're no longer selling. You're simply helping others recognize what's at stake. One of the most potent questions to ask yourself before each call is, what happens to this person without my help? Imagine their future without the solution you're offering. Visualize the struggles, the lost potential, the personal impact on their relationships or health. Consider the emotional and psychological toll of inaction. By doing so, you ground yourself in the importance of the call and the stakes involved, making it easier to remain focused on their needs rather than the sale itself. Preparing for the breakthrough call. Going in full before each call. Ensure you're mentally prepared. Most people go through life with weak frames because they don't know what they truly believe. They lack conviction about their money, relationships, or career. This lack of clarity weakens their resolve, making them vulnerable to external influences. As someone adopting the doctor frame, you must enter each call with a full, unshakable frame. Print out the 7 beliefs and tape them to your desk. Remind yourself of these convictions before every breakthrough call. You are there not to sell, but to help. If your frame is stronger than theirs, they'll naturally be drawn into your version of the truth. This is a psychological principle. People are inclined to adopt the perspective of the person with the most certainty in the room, imagining the client's life without your help. The most transformative part of using the doctor frame is visualizing in cinematic detail what will happen if the client doesn't take action. Don't just think, oh, their life might get worse. Dive deeper. Imagine their specific struggles. If you're selling a health program, visualize the physical and emotional toll of their health deteriorating. Picture the impact on their family, the loss of joy, the added stress of medical bills, and the overall decline in quality of life. If you're helping someone build a business, imagine the disappointment of watching others succeed while they remain stagnant. Picture the regret they may feel years later, wishing they had taken action. Describe these scenarios in vivid, emotional terms so that you connect with the gravity of the situation. This level of detail empowers you to approach the call with genuine urgency and conviction. Fighting for their future with unwavering resolve. Once you internalize this approach, you're no longer there to fight for a sale. You're there to fight for their future. You're willing to stay on the call for hours if that's what it takes, not because you're desperate to close, but because you're committed to changing lives. This requires guts and courage. You must be prepared to push through resistance, to stand firm, and to hold the frame until the client either commits or ends the call. When you have the truth on your side, you don't need to exaggerate or manipulate. You can simply present the facts and let the truth do the work. If you're committed to their future, your words and actions will resonate and they'll feel the sincerity in your approach. Building a legacy of transformation. Reflect on the success stories that came from people who took a leap of faith and committed to the program. These success stories serve as a reminder that uncomfortable conversations and pushing clients toward action are worthwhile. Like lifting weights or enduring a challenging workout, there may be discomfort in the moment, but the results are transformative. This work isn't easy and it's not always comfortable, but it's fulfilling. It's fulfilling because you're not just making money, you're building a legacy of transformation. Each client who commits and succeeds becomes part of that legacy, further fueling your passion and sense of purpose. Empowering clients to own their resourcefulness. To reinforce belief 6, remember that people have found ways to overcome financial hurdles for things they truly value. Those who say, "I can't afford it," are often just expressing a lack of resourcefulness, not a true inability. When you hold the frame that they can find a way, you empower them to think creatively. Some clients may genuinely struggle financially, but it's essential to focus on the broader truth. If they're committed, they'll find a way. When you hold this belief as an absolute truth, you show up more powerfully and your confidence in their resourcefulness becomes contagious. Your belief in their potential will help them overcome their self-imposed limitations. The decision to transform, a lifelong commitment. Finally, remember that the client's decision is not about your program. It's about the transformation they're seeking. When you help them see that joining the program is incidental to their decision to change, you're positioning the program as a means to an end rather than the end itself. This reframe makes it clear that the true decision is about committing to a different future. If they don't join your program, they're choosing to stay in their current state. Your program is simply the vehicle to get them where they want to go. Their commitment is what truly matters, and once they decide on the outcome, the decision to join becomes automatic. Conclusion: your role as a doctor of transformation. As you integrate the doctor frame into your calls, you'll find that you're not just selling a program. You're acting as a doctor who provides clients with the diagnosis, prescription, and guidance they need to transform their lives. This role is a profound responsibility, one that requires empathy, conviction, and resilience. When you hold to these 7 beliefs and anchor yourself in the truth, you're not merely enrolling clients, you're empowering them to take control of their future. The doctor frame allows you to transcend sales tactics, focusing instead on the life-changing potential of your work. By consistently approaching each call with the mindset that you're fighting for their future, you align your motivations with the best possible outcome for both you and the client. In the end, the greatest satisfaction comes not from the sale itself, but from the legacy of transformation you leave behind. Addressing and handling objections with compassion and authority. One of the most common challenges when using the doctor frame is handling objections effectively. When clients raise objections, it's easy to feel defensive or pressured to counter their points. But remember, as a doctor in this frame, you're not there to argue. You're there to help them understand the importance of their decision. Handling objections becomes less about overcoming them and more about helping the client gain clarity on their own hesitation. Many objections are surface-level excuses covering deeper concerns. For instance, when someone says, "I need to think about it," what they often mean is, "I'm afraid of making a commitment," or "I'm worried about failing." It's crucial to listen carefully, read between the lines, and gently guide the client to confront the real issue. An effective approach is to respond with empathy while maintaining control of the conversation. You might say, "I understand this is a big decision, and you want to make sure it's right for you. Can we explore what specifically you need to feel confident about taking this step?" This approach allows you to address their concerns without being confrontational. It also positions you as a trusted advisor who genuinely wants to help them make the best decision. Through this process, you're not only helping them make a decision about your program, but teaching them to face their own doubts and fears head on. In this way, the doctor frame isn't just about enrolling clients. It's about empowering them to make courageous, life-changing decisions, shifting from transactional to transformational conversations. One of the most profound shifts that come from using the doctor frame is the transition from transactional conversations to transformational ones. In a transactional mindset, every interaction revolves around the sale, the cost, and the logistics of joining the program. However, when you adopt the doctor frame, your conversations naturally evolve into transformational dialogues. You're no longer discussing just the features of your program. You're discussing the deeper aspirations, challenges, and desires of the client. Transformational conversations open the door to discussing topics that might feel uncomfortable, such as accountability, the real cost of inaction, and even the potential pain of staying the same. These conversations require courage on your part. They require you to ask probing questions like, "What will happen if nothing changes?" Or, "How do you feel when you think about being in the same place a year from now?" These questions create space for clients to confront the gap between where they are and where they want to be. The Dr. Frame gives you permission to go beyond the surface, to ask the tough questions and to hold space for their honest answers. When a client senses that you're willing to have these difficult conversations with them, not for your benefit but for theirs, they'll trust you more deeply. They'll see that you're not there to make a quick sale, but to facilitate a transformative journey, building and reinforcing the client's belief in themselves. In the Dr. Frame, your role extends beyond simply convincing the client of the program's value. You're also there to reinforce their belief in their own ability to succeed. Many clients approach these calls with doubts, not only about the program, but about themselves. They may question whether they're capable of committing, whether they have the discipline to follow through, or whether they're worthy of investing in their future. This is where the Dr. Frame goes beyond traditional sales techniques. By holding firm to belief 6, that anyone willing to be resourceful can find a way to make it work, you're also reinforcing their own sense of self-efficacy. When they sense your unwavering faith in their potential, it bolsters their confidence. You're effectively telling them, I believe in you, even if you don't fully believe in yourself yet. One way to reinforce this is to share stories of past clients who overcame similar doubts. Personal success stories or case studies show them that they're not alone in their fears and that others have successfully navigated these same waters. Use phrases like, I've seen people in your exact position go on to achieve incredible success because they made a commitment to themselves. This communicates that you see their potential, which can be transformative in helping them make the decision to commit.